Shifting gears for a minute, we've been through this enormous economic downturn. A lot of people have lost their jobs. But now there's a lot of people that are in jobs who are scared that they might be next. What would your advice be to them?
Well, first of all, I have to tell you, I don't think it's such a bad thing for people to be scared that they won't have a job. I mean, that's how I've lived. Isn't that kind of how you've lived your whole life?
Pretty much.
I mean, as
neurotic.
a speaker, I live that way all the time. Every speech, will it be my last? Will the phone ring? And I find that often taking a job for granted is going to lose your job quicker than being afraid of your job. I mean, I'm afraid of my job every day. It's like I want to do this more than anything. There's nothing I would rather do. And so every time I go on stage, it's how can I please this client? How can I please this audience? What kind of homework do I have to do? What do I need to have to connect? And I think that's a good fear. That's a kind of fear that makes you just want to totally go beyond the boundaries and do an amazing things.
That is fantastic advice. And I don't think I've
you know, just
heard...
live with the fear. You're afraid of your job, welcome to the real world. We're all afraid of our job. So figure out how to exceed expectations, figure out how to bring in value, figure out how to do something so far beyond what anyone else is expecting you to do that you stand out for the crowd. And if you can do that, pretty much people will fight for you to keep your job.
Well, and how does that tie into being indispensable?
Well, every company, let's face it, wants to make a profit. I mean, and people, it always amazes me, people's reaction, like, all they care about is money. Well, don't you? I mean, you want money, you want to pay your bills, you want to send your kids to school. Money's not a bad thing. And so I think if you know that every business, their goal is to make a profit, and the only way to do that is to either keep the customers they have or bring in new customers. I mean, that's the way, no matter who we are, we make a living. And so I say how you're indispensable is you need to tie your job into one of those two things. I mean, are you doing something that's vital?
Good.
Are you doing something that's either keeping the customers or are you doing a job where you're bringing new customers in? And if you aren't having direct contact with a customer, are you working for someone that does, making their job unbelievably successful? And once we make that connection with the customer, whether it's internal or external, then pretty well you become a vital piece.
Now, what do you say to the salesperson who says in this environment, the customers aren't buying, I can't sell anything?
I say, give me a break. Yeah. I mean,
Did it used to be easy and now it's not?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I talk to salespeople all the time. And I say to them, this is sales. I mean, when times are good, there's no sales. You're an order taker.
Exactly.
I mean, the phones are ringing, and I mean, it was true in my business. Phones are ringing, and we're turning down speaking jobs, and all of a sudden, there's this whole thing that happens to the country, and sales go down. And you have one of two ways to approach it. You can either whine, you know, sales are bad, I hate my territory, I can't believe, or you can say, now I got to sell. And for somebody that was born to sell, that's really good in sales, for me, this has been the most exciting year that I've had in a decade. Because I did a new video demo, a new website, and I looked at my marketing, and I created new topics. I mean, I looked at everything I'd ever done, because the bottom line is, whatever we did up to 18 months ago isn't probably going to work right now. And so for me, this has been like, wow, where can I go? What can I do? So I say to salespeople, stop griping about the economy and really give me, your biggest complaint is you don't know how to sell. You forgot how to sell.
That's good.
And now, of all the times in the world, now true salespeople, they're going to succeed like you wouldn't believe.
You have to kind of get back to the basics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.